Today is not an ordinary day for me, but I think this video is necessary. It is necessary because in the face of adversity, truth and that which is right and just must still prevail. When anarchy rears or raises its ugly head, as peace-loving South Africans, we need to come in and speak truth to power. We need to confront anything that looks like anarchy. And anarchy is what, in my view, took place yesterday in Senekal. So I was sitting, just relaxed, going about my normal routine, when information came to my attention that there is an unfolding story in a small place called Senekal. I wonder how many of us actually know where Senekal is. But Senekal is a small town in the Free State. It is about 50 kilometers from Bethlehem, and also I think another 50 kilos from Wynberg, more or less. It is a town that is very close to me. I've got friends, I've got family there, and it's a town that I frequent quite a lot. And when the news that there has been a farm attack and a young person, a 21-year-old, Brendin Horner, has been killed in the process, it was indeed a very sad moment. It is unjustifiable that a young member of society would lose his or his life because of criminals, ruthless criminals that have no regard for the laws of this country, that has no regard for other people, never mind the life that was needlessly taken away. Now, when something of this nature happens, as human beings, as communities, we need to stand together and we need to show our support to the victim, the families, the friends, and all those that are directly and indirectly affected by this. And therefore, my heartfelt condolences to the family, to the friends, and relatives of the victim. And often when something of this nature happens, in our country, the farm attacks are not new. The protest action around farm attacks is equally not new. A few weeks earlier, we learned in Newcastle that the farmers were protesting the very same issue and government was trying to intervene, which in my view was a very positive approach. But unlike the situation and how it was dealt with in Newcastle, we have now the incident that just took place yesterday in Senekal. So it's a very fresh incident. Ordinarily, there is nothing wrong with a group of people coming together, raising their dissatisfaction and protesting when confronted with something of this nature. Probably if this issue had ended there, I'm sure even this video would not even exist. But unfortunately, it did not end there. And that, my fellow South Africans, is one of the things that I want to confront today. We are South Africans. There are laws in this country that govern us, that guide us as to what ought to happen when an incident of this nature has taken place. One, often when a crime is committed, it will be reported. The police would be activated to investigate. Suspects would be apprehended. People will then be brought to court to answer not on the fact that they did something, on the allegations. Remember, at this point in time, they are still suspects. They will be put through a court process wherein a decision would be taken by a judge as to the guilt or innocence of the parties that are involved. And then, ladies and gentlemen, in the final end, we will get a sentence which then is about the punishment, or the suitable punishment would be given to the perpetrators of the crime. Now, the problem I have with the approach that was taken in Senekal is that people did not just protest. They decided, one, to damage state property, police cars, the court, undermining the state, our police, our justice system, and wanted to take the law into their own hands. I wonder what would have even happened if they had gotten their hands on the two suspects. I wonder what would have happened had they gotten their hands on the two suspects. And if an unfortunate situation had taken place where they actually had caught the suspects, perhaps killed them in a similar fashion or worse, what would then have happened to justice, to rule of law, to the values of our society? Did the farmers have a right to be angry? Yes, certainly, granted. Did they have a right to protest? Yes, indeed, they had a right. Did they have a right to go do what they did? Certainly not. It is barbaric, it is just sheer anarchy, and it cannot be tolerated in a democratic dispensation. It cannot. It frowns upon everything that we stand for as a nation, as a people, as a country. Secondly, if we would allow such a thing to continue, the practice that a person can take the law into their own hands, what would happen to our country, to our democracy? Imagine if the black people would rise up and fight for whatever reason that they want, for whatever reasons that they want. What if those whose children are killed as a result of whatever crime rise up? The women are raped, rise up and do a similar issue where they take the law into their own hands. We would end up in a state of anarchy, and it is something that we cannot accept as a people. We cannot afford to have our justice system undermined by a few people who are choosing to ignore to ignore the rule of law. Their pain is real. So is the pain of many others. But unfortunately, it cannot be the standard that is set. Secondly, the two suspects are unfortunately just suspects until proven otherwise. And even if they were the perpetrators of the crime proven in a court of law, it is not incumbent upon us as individuals to mete out punishment. That conduct, in my view, took away from a legitimate cause. It took away from Brendin Horner. It took away from our society. And it must never happen again. Whether it is the farmers that were striking, whether it is anybody else that will choose to follow the same fashion, let us stop it. Let us never, ever do it again. Let justice reign. Enable the police to do their work. Allow the judicial system to do their work. And allow justice to reign as it should. It is the values of who we are. And until the laws of this country change, unfortunately, all of us don't have a choice. Let us respect each other. Let us not use this incident as a tool to divide our country. Let the perpetrators in the murder of Brendin Horner be found and dealt with in accordance with the law. And every person that participated in yesterday's chaos and anarchy, may they face the same might of the law. Arson, destruction of state property, endangering the lives of the probably court officials, police officials, and members of the general public, and many other issues. Let it never happen again. Now, those are my honest thoughts. May we all remember the life of Brendin Horner and honor it. Many victims of crime in our country, whether it's hijackings, whether it's gender-based violence, femicide, or whatever name you call it. It is not who we are. It is not who we are. It does not reflect our nature, our values. And we must never forget, if we allow it once, and the good people stay quiet, it will continue. And it will get out of control. And at that time, there is nothing we can do to stop it. Thank you very much for listening. I know it was not an easy subject to deal with, and I know the issues are a bit complicated, but the facts are the facts. Anarchy remains but anarchy. Continue to watch and subscribe to the channel, and hopefully we will continue to engage on many more interesting topics. Thank you.